G'day everybody, welcome back to Sprouts Tarot. So today's reading is going to be about where is this thing heading. So this thing is anything that you are working on. So maybe a relationship, even a hobby or a job or anything that you've got going on, anything in your mind that you are wondering. Maybe initially when you started this, you had a very, very strong direction or inspiration on where you would like things to go. But now maybe as time has gone on, you feel kind of a little bit lost. And now you're wondering, where am I going with this? So this is my attempt to answer this query of yours. So as per usual, go by intuition. I haven't seen the cards yet. So you and I are both working on this energy. So just choose the pile that you like the most and look at the timestamps in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in a little while. 1, 2, 3. Oh, welcome back, group 1. So if you pick this pile, then this looks on the surface anyway like a relationship thing. Okay, so first of all, this ruin, the Hagal ruin, does symbolize some sort of delay or limitation or kind of like, obstacle, but of a nature that's not really got to do with you per se. Maybe it is something external imposed upon you which is causing this particular delay. Now, our grounding card here is the Hierophant, and this is from the Nostradamus deck, a deck that I absolutely love. And this traditional figure is, of course, somebody who has authority, but there are very specific things here. This kind of a Pope here holds the key, but also this particular 3-cross wand thing that he's holding. Now, this is the at the Golgotha site where Jesus Christ was crucified. There were other people that underwent this experience with him. So there were 3 people in total. And so this particular situation could involve 3 people. So you, your partner, and somebody else. And this traditional figure here, because it's coupled with this Hagar ruin, kind of tells me that maybe there is an imposition put forth by a more traditional institution or figure that is interfering with this particular relationship, because the Lover is generally a card that's self-explanatory. We all know what lovers are. And so my guess is maybe you live in a region in which your type of relationship may not be legally recognized. So that could be one factor. Another thing is maybe a parental or guardian or any maybe senior family member, somebody who has power in your family, objects to your particular kind of relationship. Because the cycle of your relationship now requires you to undergo some sort of transformation. So there is going to be an energy that is coming forth in your life that's going to give you kind of like renewed enthusiasm. It's going to maybe cause you to have some sort of glow up as well physically. And with that, increase in confidence and the way that you conduct yourself, and hence the way that you see the situation is liable to change as well. So my guess on just these anchors alone, it looks as though there's some sort of like issue with your current relationship, and now it's left you kind of hanging on and thinking, where is this going to go? Is this going to have a happily ever after? What should I do? So now what we're going to do is get tarot. First of all, let's get a significator to tell us whether this is in fact a relationship. Oh, yeah, 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah. This is legacy of some sort that you are trying to create, okay? So it means like having a happily ever after, having offspring, having joint assets, having all those things. Okay, so let's see what's actually happening right now and where is it going as well. So the first layer here, let's see what do they look like currently? Where are things currently? Whoa! Did you see that? That was a flyer. That was a super duper flyer. Oh, it looks very positive though. Wow. Oh, okay. And that one here as well. Okay, let's see. Where's it heading to? Oh, let's get that here. And now, since we've got a page, let's get ourselves some advice. Okay, let's get this. Let's get a message from the Daughter of Pentacles. So if you take a look at things here, this is definitely relationship. This confirms this. Can you see? These are all cups. This is all in the feelings, emotional realm. So tarot is uncanny. Really, really shockingly funny. Okay, so what advice do you have, dear Daughter of Pentacles? For group one. Whoa, group one, your energy is really flying. This is really proactive. The cards are literally leaping out. Manifest. You're always manifesting, whether you're aware of it or not. Manifestation is based on your thoughts, and you're being asked to manifest consciously through positive thinking, so you'll attract into your life exactly what you're wanting. Beautiful. Okay. Yep. Well, it is definitely, you're undergoing a change of some sort. Okay. So what do we have right now? It's actually very, very good energy, except for one particular incident. And it's kind of very difficult to understand exactly how it got here. Okay, wait 1 second. Let me just... Okay, can I get a clarifier for the Eight of Cups, please? Okay. So what this looks like is things were going actually very, very well. The relationship had already reached a point in which I think both sides should have been quite happy, or at least you were quite happy with this relationship. There was definitely enough in the relationship, or the foundations of the relationship, to ensure that there was going to be a future on both sides, and it was very, very positively nurtured. So there was good energy and good connection, and also it's mutually a very responsible kind of relationship. Because if you take a look at this tree that eventually grows, the dynamic aspect is in the rainbow roots, which means what this tree is growing out of is a combination of very good synergy between you and your partner, and hence things were very, very positive and things were working very well. Both sides were very fulfilled in this relationship. Now, how it went from that into this particular card is a little bit of a mind-bending aspect. Now, we do have a clarifier here. The Son of Wands. Now, this particular energy generally is good, but it is feisty energy. And also, it can have an element of a little bit of recklessness can be involved. And also, the serpent, it has a dual meaning. One of them is that there is temptation, And but the other being that this is part of the wisdom pack. Basically, anything in life, if you wanted to grow, you would have to undergo the experience and then look back and, in hindsight, philosophize, contemplate, and really allow yourself to sit with the emotions, especially if the experience was a challenging one. You have to be able to sit quietly in the space until everything is processed. And that doesn't mean only the physical shedding of the skin. So if we do go through something traumatic, sometimes our bodies actually do respond and change because of that. But on a more higher perspective, the spiritual and emotional realms definitely changes. So the serpent has that energy of being able to regenerate and also to be able to bounce back from any experience and to genuinely learn from that experience and come off wiser. The good thing is that during this time you were able to have some sort of outlet in which you could express this particular feeling. So maybe in this particular instance, what caused the heartbreak or the feeling that this relationship, you really can't see that bright future, even though on the basis of it, things were going really well, but you can't really see the bright future, is maybe because due to this particular element, an action was taken by one partner in the relationship that did cause some sort of friction. Maybe this particular partner was very, very headstrong and they went ahead and did something which was maybe not so considerate in the context of the relationship, though it might have been a very good move for the actual partner, him or herself. Now, where is this going? Now, we've got these two, in addition to the Hierophant, which is also a traditional figure. Now you've got this, the Emperor and the Father of Wands and the Son of Wands. Now, this one partner, the influence of this particular move in the relationship, which maybe caused this kind of friction, or maybe leading the event that led to this feeling of, oh, do I need to step away or take a breather from this relationship because I don't know where it's going? It could have something to do with the parent, okay, Father, Son of Wands. So directly, it could be connected to the father of your partner. And you've got two competing energies here as well, because the Emperor is a father figure. The father, of course, is a Father of Wands figure. And my guess is that maybe this could be your side of the family and then his or her side of the family as well. So there is correspondence here. And one particular side of the family, maybe they do have some concerns regarding this relationship, hence there is this delay. There is going to be a breakthrough in this. There is definitely going to be a solution that's going to come forth. It is going to be quite a good suggestion, and it's going to connect to this issue anyway. You've got the serpent energy, but this time in a landscape, kind of like figure eight formation wrapped around the idea. So this whole partner's father or guardian and the actual solution come in one pack. This is all going to be connected to most likely your partner's side. So yeah, wait. Let me see whether I can get some concrete advice for this. Okay, can I please get some Can I get a picture of this Ace of Swords? What is this? What is this suggestion that's going to come through? What is this suggestion that's going to come through? What is this idea that's going to break through this knot here? Delay again. Okay. This idea, depending on where you live, so this actually has an effect. But from my perspective as the reader, this is going to be the next season for me. So depending on where you are, this could be quite soon or the next season. But it is going to be a change, and it's going to be from something that is more passionate and hot into something cooler. So there is going to be a transition in phase. So we all know what spring energy means. It means kind of like the first leaf, the burst of life. The fall is a time of transition in which things are okay to be let go of, okay? And it's during that time in which clarity is going to come through. And this is not going to be instant, because this idea that's going to come through is going to have some sort of community or familial link. Once again, you've got the energies. Look, father, son, and brother. So while I say here directly, father and son, this father energy could be, like I said, like a guardian as well. So if, let's just say your partner, his or her older sibling has a huge age gap, they can function as this kind of figure as well. But it currently looks like that there is a lot of, the onus is kind of like on your partner's side. There is something that they went ahead and did that is causing this kind of feeling that should you continue with this relationship anymore, or is it time to leave it, that kind of thing. There is going to be a solution coming up though, and in the meantime there is guidance, and there is a suggestion for you to start thinking positively, because how you feel now is going to greatly affect what's going to happen, because it will contribute to the solution to this issue too. And also, you have reached a time in the relationship where it is good to reclaim positive aspects of yourself, and you should shine in this relationship now. Now it's your turn to step forth and basically hog the limelight for a little while anyway. And the good thing is you are going to get some support from your close friends. So at least that's going to work out well. But fundamentally, it's a really, really good energy. I think it's just a tiny knot here, rather than it being a really, really big issue. It's just a temporary delay, because these two cards together are pretty much basically the happily ever after energies here. You are able to leave a legacy, and then there's all the feels that you have that are basically being fulfilled. So there's nothing fundamentally wrong with this relationship. It's a hiccup more than anything else. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thank you as always for allowing me to read for you, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye. Oh, welcome back, group 2. So if you pick this one, then what lies ahead is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Now, simply because this grounding card here shows this particular scene. I don't know if you can see this up close, but there's this kind of like castle fortress type of thing. But everybody's trapped inside and no one leaves and no one can leave. But as you can see, there's no lock on the door. People can just walk away. But for some reason, they're bolted down, either through their own fear or their own projection of the enemy or the outside being more vicious and more dire than the conditions inside, or maybe they're listening to one person, the general, that tells them all to stay, and everybody's rooted because they don't want to go against this figure. So this situation implies that while there is a solution that that can allow you to escape, but for some bizarre reason you choose not to. However, this card was in reverse, which generally means that even though the solution is going to be available, it's not available now. So that option, so upright, the doors are open, but when it's reversed, just imagine that the door cannot be seen, or it's closed, and it looks as though it's impenetrable or you cannot get out. However, there's no lock, but you don't know that there's no lock. So at this stage, the solution really can't be seen as yet. Now, what backs this energy up is this Issa rune as well. Now, this rune basically just implies a period of freeze, immobility. You can't progress, you can't move ahead. So this is also stagnant energy as well. And the archetypal energy that's running this particular set is the Venom card. So generally, it can mean two things. It can mean literally body illness, which keeps you grounded, and hence this card being like locked in, locked at home, confined where you cannot leave. Or it can mean there's like a toxic environment that you are in and you really can't escape it at this stage. So for example, your workplace environment is not the healthiest, mentally healthiest place to be in, but maybe you really need the paycheck, so you can't just, quit your job without having found another job to provide the source of income. So it can mean things like that. And now the cycle of this energy is that you've entered a new kind of phase in which you really do have to maybe take a step back or compromise more than you would need to normally. It's like a brand new cycle into an energy that requires you to be more meticulous, to be more of to be of service rather than to be the big boss energy. Okay, so that's what I have just as these grounding cards, but still I'm not sure whether this is connected to health or whether this is work or a relationship. So for that, let's get our tarot cards to paint us a story. So the first thing we need is a significator. So can I please have a significator for group 2? Oh, once again, super fast. Okay, 6 of Pentacles. So there is giving. Okay, let's just see. Where is this? 6 of Pentacles. Let's see which area in your life. So there is going to be some sort of, there will be reciprocation. There is going to be good fortune coming soon. But let's see, where is it? In which area is the 6 of Pentacles appearing? Oh, there we go. It's in relationships. Okay. Relationships. Okay. Let's put this down. Okay, so in this case, let's do a time spread. Okay, let's do a time spread. Mm. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, so once again, let's get since we've got Daughter of Cups here, let's get some advice. Daughter of Cups, looking very, very sweet. Okay, dear Daughter of Cups, what message do you have for us? Rewards. You are cashing in on all the good work you've done. Raises, bonuses, and prosperity are coming in. Keep going and keep growing. Okay. Let's see. That seems very fortuitous. Looks like something good is coming from all this. Is there any other advice you'd like to give? Is there anything else you'd like to say to group 2? Short term. This position is temporary, so don't be too attached. No worries, you'll find something that's even more fulfilling. Okay, let's see. What this looks like is a work relationship situation type thing. So the Daughter of Cups has spoken. Okay, so there is a new relationship that is starting at work, basically, because it looks as though you've just started this new position. And there is a lot of positivity on your side, especially. There is also a little bit of reticence and hesitation because you don't really know. You haven't figured out your bearings yet, okay? So you don't really know the dynamics, the political situation in your workplace. And so there's a little bit of feelings of timidity. However, you do realize that it is going to take some work, and you are prepared to do the work. As you can see here, there are many steps to go up, right? And however, at the end of the top step here, there is an illumination. There is going to be some sort of satisfaction because the moon is there. So the moon generally is a calming energy. So that's good. But at this stage, there is confusion in your life. So that's what causes the where am I going with all this? And if you take a look, these are both waning moons as well. So the energy is retreating energy. So which means it's a time in which it is better to give, better to listen rather than assert yourself in a very proactive way. I know that's not the favorite advice. People always want to hear, you just go get them, tiger. And sometimes, yeah, you do go and get them, tigers. That kind of advice works. And other times you really have to just be more like a gentle lamb. And this is one of those times in which ego needs to take a back seat. Because if you take a look at what the actual work situation is, or how you actually feel, is what is happening in your life, is you feel as though there are many things that you can do, many things that you should do in your mind anyway. But how many of them will yield that result that you desire is questionable at this stage. Like I was saying, it looks like you're too new. You're too new in your particular situation to really make a firm judgment on what you should and should not be doing. So what has followed you from before is that you have been basically more on a kind of like down mode, in which you have been able to basically learn more than you're kind of giving out. And I know that kind of sounds contradictory when I said you have to give more than you take, but the meaning is a little bit different. being maybe a good student or listening more at this stage is that giving process, because sometimes we need to absorb, and that is what we should be doing. But someone, for example, I'm someone who likes to be proactive, and I feel sometimes when I take a back seat, I personally feel like I'm slacking off and I feel bad. But I realize that that's a necessary step to take, because I can't always be out there and in people's face and then doing this, doing that. And so as I've become older, I'm learning for my relative state to take a back seat, and that's a good thing. And so you already have been doing this. You have been taking a back seat and slowly and quietly learning. This energy is going to continue for a little bit longer, because this hangman card is still, you are still trying to get a different perspective. So you're trying to see things from maybe the side of the workplace or your co-worker. So you are trying to realign the way that you see reality through their eyes. You know, you're trying to walk a mile in their shoes. So you are trying to do that. And this is going to continue. But it is going to be very fruitful for you in the end, because as you are doing this, as you are giving more, others will start the reciprocation process, which is basically the anchor for this for your reading, is that there is going to be return in your giving. So it is going to be reciprocated, along with the message advice here. This position is temporary. Don't be too attached. You're going to get something better. And when that better thing comes, it comes with a lot of financial rewards, which matches this card, because this is the Ten of Pentacles. So once you get that, I mean, you're laughing all the way to the bank, basically. So this particular lull that you have in your life, where you feel, oh, where is this heading? What this reading looks like is that it's overall you're heading towards a very positive direction, even though things may feel a little uneasy, and maybe there are some elements in which you aren't really that comfortable and you feel as though you can't really move at this stage. Far from it, actually. It's just a period of incubation where you're basically accumulating the knowledge, the wisdom, and the skills in order to move ahead. And that next step ahead is not like a slow step ahead. It looks like you'll go from this into a huge jump into the next phase of your life. So you're going to bypass the gradation of step 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like you're going from step 2 to step 5. So this period in which you are accumulating knowledge, gaining different perspectives, is going to push you a few steps up for the next phase in your life. Okay, so that's all I have for you, and thank you for allowing me to read for you, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye. Welcome back, group 3. So if you pick this group, then what lies ahead, or where is this thing going, is a curly one. Okay, so first of all, let's just take a look at this ruin. So this is the Lagarde's ruin, but it came out in reverse, which generally means it gives the energy of having bitten off more than you can chew. So there is caution here to be very careful in how you conduct yourself or the next move that you make. Generally, taking shortcuts or kind of like cutting corners is not the way to go. It is basically like this card. Make a concrete plan in how you're going to tackle this issue or problem. Now, I still don't know in which area in your life this is hitting. I'll probably need tarot for this, because this one is not so clear. The card that came with it is also this one. So this is basically the Knight of Swords card. You can see these senior figures here looking one way, and this figure here that looks distinctly different from the rest of the group. And this is what is basically causing mayhem. The fact that you are so distinctively different from everybody else. And so generally, the good side of this is there is some sort of passion and basically wildness that comes with being different. And that can be a quality that is quite good because it makes you shine and stand out. But this was in reverse, so you do have to be kind of careful how this uniqueness comes across to others. The energy that is running the cycle or the stage in where you are advises you to make concrete plans, basically. So it is okay to dream big, but when you dream big, that's also not enough. You've got to basically have at least a basic outline of how you're going to have these big dreams come true. So yeah, basically you need a plan. Now, this archetype energy is what threw me. So the ring, as you can see, is something that we wear that basically signifies our commitment. But if you take a look at this particular ring design, it seems as though it's a formation of a few different rings all coiled up together to form one ring. So circles, as we know, represent the passage of time, things happening again and again in a certain cycle. It also shows us that we are kind of all interconnected in some way, because you can see it's like a kind of galaxy type formation at the background, and leading in towards more of the chakra formation colors, which is basically the human being. And at the center of this lies the ring, which means that it doesn't matter how we feel we are an individual or alone, the things that we do have ramifications, have effects on the greater world at large, and definitely through our community, our family and friends. Okay, so that being said, I'm still not so sure in which area this is hitting in. So what we're going to do now is get a significator for you so I can see in which area in your life this is hitting. Okay, so please show me the significator for group 3, please. Oh, but it was in reverse. 8 of Cups in reverse. No, sorry, not 8 of Cups. 9 of Cups in reverse. 9 of Cups in reverse. This is really weird because this is also in group 2's reading, but we'll just see. 9 of Cups. Okay, let's see where this is. Where is this hitting? These cards just feel so amazing. They feel really good. Okay. Whoa, right at the end. Okay, so it looks like family, family. High chance it is family. Okay, so this card did come out in reverse, even though this deck is not really a reverse deck, I don't think. So generally, there is a lack of emotional satisfaction. So, okay, but let's get more information before I start mouthing off. Okay, so where are things currently? Okay, there. Okay, where should they be? What's the obstacle? What should you do? Okay, now let me get a message, because we have the Page of Pentacles here. It looks like currently you are very, very distinctive. Okay, what advice, dear Page of Pentacles, Daughter of Pentacles, do you have for group 3? What advice do you have for group 3? What do you want to say to group 3? Okay. You are rich, either in material goods or in knowledge, wisdom, power, energy, talent, or relationships. Whatever form it takes, you have something real and potent in your possession. That which you have or are, you can give. This pure potential is an opening to source and a promise of abundance. Given all you have, who will you be? How can you affirm and support what is good? Alrighty. Okay, so you, my dear, are definitely somebody who stands out. This is where you currently are. You are very optimistic. You are very bright. You have a lot of confidence. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you're not shy in expressing yourself. You're larger than life. Okay, you're larger than life. Like I said before, there is a lack of emotional fulfillment. It looks like maybe in however you define a family or a structure that you kind of go home to or based in is not offering that level of fulfillment in your life. I mean, it could be your job as well, but it feels more like a home type thing. Now, you do have a lot of potential. Okay, so both of these confirm this. This potential is backed by a lot of big dreams, big words, and bravado. Now, and why that is the case is because you genuinely do have that certain elusive X factor, that certain je ne sais quoi, that that zing that many people are looking for. And maybe a big part of your life, people have commented on this. And this is why what you fundamentally really want is for things to really pick up and go ahead and move right ahead, because this is the energy here. You are hoping for like a phoenix rising from the ashes moment. Okay, so you want that old skin to be shed and for the new you to arrive. So you want to go ahead and do something. But right now, things are not entirely clear as yet. And so there is an element of maybe uncertainty on how to take that first step, but it's necessary for you to literally write that first step down and move towards it. So that's the advice. So all the talent in the world will not create success by itself. That needs to be refined, it needs to be trained, and it needs to be put on a platform in which people can see it. And I think that's the main issue here. And that's what is leading to this feeling of standing out, being different from everybody else, but seemingly being immobile at the same time, which leads to not feeling, your best, because you feel as though you're not reaching that area or that zone in which you can really showcase who you are. Bottom of the deck is the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so despite having all this talent or ability, you do feel as though maybe you kind of feel a little shortchanged, because you feel as though you can't really do that much with it. But the problem is not that you can't do much with it. The biggest problem here is the fact that you just need to make that active first step out. And I actually know in real life many people who have this particular situation, especially a lot of my astrology clients. Their charts actually show very good potential, and when I actually have consultations with them, there is definitely that spark, there is that talent, there is ingenuity, but they lack that first step to make that concrete first leap into the unknown, and to have that confidence to sustain the momentum. And that's pretty much what we need to succeed in life. You need to take that step off the ledge and then let the momentum carry you through, and then any new things which come your way, you tweak. But simply not being able to let go and just take that leap of faith is usually the biggest problem. And I think that's pretty much what is happening here as well. And hence you feel, where am I going in life with all this? Okay, let's see. Let's ask our military strategist what you should do. So, dear Sun Tzu, what advice can you give Group 3 who is maybe currently feeling a tad confused? Okay, what advice can we give Group 3? Okay. Sun Tzu said, while heeding the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also of any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules. Learn your lessons. Education begins on the first day of our lives and ends on the last. We learn something new every day, some of it planned, some of it unplanned, some of it useful, and some of it irrelevant. We learn in different ways, by seeing, by showing, and by doing. Realizing how you learn is a skill you can improve by trying the different methods. Yeah, so basically, don't worry about it. Just take that first step and learn as you go along. The biggest obstacle here is not actually dedicating practical reality, real, workable, actionable steps to that big plan, to that big dream. So, if you are seeing this and if this does resonate, then this is definitely the message, your universe's message, to tell you to just do it. Just like the Nike, yeah, just do it. Okay, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. And yeah, take care. And yeah, just, we all have to do what we have to do. If you truly believe in yourself, yeah, just go ahead and take that first step. I look forward to seeing you again. Bye.